Well, members of the public might want to support this effort with the oil companies because actually it affects us all. It affects the world, it affects our communities, it affects particularly some of the less fortunate people around the world. It's a matter of justice, not just a matter of self-survival actually. It really is a matter of justice. And there are people around the world whose nations, whole nations, are going to be endangered by the flooding that will happen because of global warming. And it's really, really important that those of us in the wealthy part of the world take this whole area very responsibly and play our part so that our sisters and brothers around the world can be helped. And it's not just something a long way down the road. It is a pressing issue today. It really is significant for people as we speak. So there's no time to hang around. This is a matter of urgency.
Gave me an opportunity to do something which has fundamental impact upon all of us. Problem being that most of us think that investors, we could just shout and scream and get action, and this just does not work. Businesses are competitive organizations. They need to make profits. They need to do things for their own interests as well as satisfying their customers. But sometimes their customers need to be helped as well. And that's where you can achieve great change. We all have to work together. We all have to change the way in which we do things. And this is just a great opportunity to do it. And I think Share Action have given us a means to do something which we had no understanding of. I think filing resolutions I knew was an active activity of our friends over in the States. I have worked with ICCR in the past, and I just wonder at how they achieve what they achieve, but equally to have the opportunity to do something similar in the UK was just wonderful.
We have a grant-making programme, and that's what we exist for. And it's always been clear to us as trustees that what we invest in has to be consistent with what we're funding and what we want to happen, what we're trying to make happen. And we fund, for example, we were one of the first funders of Carbon Tracker, who've been working very hard on getting investors aware of the carbon impact of their portfolios. We've funded Share Action, who are working on these resolutions. So we're very aware of trying to make the consistency. It's important to show that shareholders are concerned enough to vote in favour of them, because you have to, you have to demonstrate to the companies that there is really public concern about these issues, about the contribution that those companies make to carbon emissions and to climate change, and about the need for them to restructure their strategies so that they are really taking seriously the crisis that's ahead of us. And so it's even if you only have a tiny amount of shares, you can make a difference, because the shares will be held probably in a fund, probably by very large fund managers who will decide how to vote a whole load of shares. And the more members or share unit holders or pension participants they hear from, the more likely they are to realise that they're going to have to support these resolutions.